beautiful sights and the lights of Hong Kong. Part of being here, talking about my book, talking about my life story, and journey towards acceptance.
This afternoon. My name is Matt from Kelly and Walsh. It's a pleasure to welcome everyone to the store. You've all come from far and wide to experience something different today. Quite a range of authors and authors-to-be will be sharing their experiences. And everything that's happened this afternoon is all thanks to Kashmina, who has brought everyone together. I'm sure a few speakers tonight. With that, Ashmina, the floor is yours. Take it away.
Thank you so much, Matt. I'd like to give a round of applause to Matt as well, because without him, this would not be possible. So thank you so much, Matt, for your attention, your support, and everything else.
Thank you.
Stories are used historically to keep children safe. Stories are used to explain faith and where we fit in the world. Stories can be used to challenge faith and culture, as has been the case in my own journey of faith. And stories can help others to work through their life's courage and journey. My story, which will be coming out later this year, A Journey Towards Acceptance, an emerging memoir, will cover each phase of my life, the intersection of family, the impact of war, faith, business and sexuality, within the backdrop of being an experienced international traveller working in many of the major business centres in this region. I've lost track of how many times I've come to Hong Kong. Facebook is in fact becoming one of our memoirs of life, memories of life. As I boarded my flight yesterday from Sydney, my feed reminded me that exactly 1 year ago, when I was here in Hong Kong for the Asia Pacific Rainbow Families Forum, it was actually the first time I ever told any part of this story, where I gave a talk on a panel of faith, workplace and sexuality. I've been encouraged to write part of my story to add to the small collection of this particular subset of stories. Not to provide a roadmap for others, but perhaps to give and offer some guideposts or even the odd anchor that people might have who are following a similar path or journey as mine. Or for others who generally in society are interested in humanity and its collection of stories, with an idea of providing light, hope, as a contrast to darkness and despair that many people travel through. I was here 12 months ago, as I mentioned, in Hong Kong, where I met Jules, who you've heard from earlier, who then introduced me to Pashmina, and then to Judy, and now to Mike. And thank you very much for allowing us to be here today. And these are the people who have helped me get an idea from my head out into a book. As one of the youngest firstborn of a Second World War veteran who suffered post-traumatic stress disorder, and his death some 45 years after the end of the Second World War, his death was 100% attributed to the war. This led to the framework for emotional abuse that was the environment of my upbringing. Growing up as an only child, expectations were high, and when my sexuality, for which I had no language, there was no internet, when it arose, unacceptability was gifted to me very strongly. So suppressing my sexuality and focusing heavily on my career and my Christian faith, I eventually, like many of my peers, got married, and I'm lucky to have 2 wonderful young adult children. However, my third period of significant mental health issues, even though I was now a CEO, needed to be addressed. and sexuality, my sexuality broke out of the box that I had so securely locked it in, causing mayhem for my family and ultimately the breakdown of my 20-year marriage. So now, I'm rebuilding myself and my life, which is why my book is subtitled An Evolving Memoir, as I'm gladly on a journey of discovery and, most importantly, of self-acceptance. Writing these stories is not easy, but given the importance of stories to life, to culture, to faith and humanity, I'm recognising that these are in fact all important stories. They do take time to develop, as we know, so as to communicate well the important lessons from life from our stories for all of humanity to see and grow. When I was here last year, a survey on the acceptance of marriage equality here in Hong Kong indicated for the first time that more than half the population of Hong Kong would support marriage equality. When I managed to connect to the Wi-Fi at Hong Kong Airport, waiting far too long, and frustratingly for my colleagues, was I actually in the country, waiting too long for my bags, I connected to Wi-Fi, opened my Facebook, and my feed was flooded with messages, as yesterday was the International Day against homophobia, biphobia and transphobia. But more important was the even greater amount of messages in my feed that Taiwan had passed marriage equality, the first country in Asia to do so. So there was so much joy. Stories. Our stories bring the humanness, the struggles and the hopes to society, to help society to continue to grow and to enhance its humanity towards all humankind and to provide a hope for all people. I'm looking forward to having my book here, and I hope it will be something that will inspire you on the way forward.